What's good, YouTube? It's your boy P Money. Blazers get a 109-104 victory over the Utah Jazz. On the Jazz home floor, Jazz shoot 36 of 91 for 39% from the field. They go 7 of 33 for 21% from three-point land. They go 25 of 31 for 81% from the free throw line, which was their saving grace. They have 21 assists on their 36 made baskets. They get 48 rebounds, 13 offensive rebounds, 5 steals, 8 blocks, and 15 turnovers. For the Blazers, they shoot 45 of 90 for 50% from the field. They go 8 of 18 for 44% from three-point land. They shoot 11 of 15 from the free throw line. They get 30 assists on their 45 made baskets. They get 44 rebounds. They pull down 7 offensive rebounds, get 6 steals, have 9 blocks, and 8 turnovers. Individual stats for the Blazers go: Damian Lillard leads the way with 26 points on 10 of 20 shooting from the field. He goes 1 of 5 from three-point land, finishes up with a +9. He pulls down 8 boards. He pulls down an offensive rebound as well. Also dishes 8 assists to only 2 turnovers. He also shoots 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Big Nurkic, huge game. He finishes up with 22 points on 8 of 17 shooting. Didn't take any threes. He pulled down 8 boards. 2 of them were offensive boards. He had 7 assists. He also had 5 turnovers. He had 1 steal. He also had 6 blocks and went 6 of 8 from the free throw line to finish up with a -2. McCollum goes for 14 on 6 of 17 shooting. He shoots 2 of 4 from three-point land. Finishes up with a -3. He pulls down 4 boards. He dished out 4 assists and got him a steal. For Rick Aminu, he had 8 points on 4 of 6 shooting, 0 of 2 from three-point land. Finished up with a +2. Pulled down 6 boards, grabbed 1 offensive, had an assist and a block. Mo Harkless, his second game back, he finished up with 6 points on 3 of 3 shooting. He had, he finished up with a 0, pulled down an offensive rebound, had an assist, a steal, and a block. Jake Layman leads the way off the bench with 12 points on 5 of 9 shooting, shoots 2 of 3 from three-point land, finishes up with a team high +14, had 3 rebounds, also a steal and a block. So huge night off the bench for Jake Layman, and he was a big reason why the Blazers won tonight. Evan Turner had 10 points on 5 of 8 shooting. He didn't take any threes, finished up with a +2. He pulled down 8 boards today, with 1 being offensive. He had 4 assists and a turnover. Another solid game for Evan Turner as well. In all 3 games this year against the Jazz, Evan Turner's looked good. So I like what I see when he plays them. Myers Leonard finished up with 8 points on 3 of 4 shooting, 2 of 2 from 3, finished up with a +11, pulled down 2 boards, had an assist and a steal. Seth Curry finished up with 3 points on 1 of 2 shooting, 1 of 1 from three-point land, finished up with a -3, had 3 rebounds, pulled down 1 offensive rebound, also had 3 assists. Zach Collins didn't get in the scoring, but he did pull down a board and dish out an assist and had a steal. For Utah, Donovan Mitchell erupts for 36 points on 12 of 28 shooting. He goes 2 of 8 from three-point land, finishes up with a -7, has 7 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds, 5 assists, 4 turnovers, and a steal. we had Crowder giving his best effort. He finished up with 15 on 6 of 14 shooting. He went 3 of 9 from three-point land, finished up with a -2. He pulled down 7 boards, 1 offensive, had 2 assists, and he also had a steal. Derek Favors finished up with 12 on 3 of 7. Excuse me, went 0 of 2 from three-point land. And I want to say they said something like he's 23% from three-point land, so he need to stop shooting those. I don't care if he open or not, he needs to stop. Drive that to the basket. But he finished up with a -3, pulled down 9 boards, 3 offensive, had 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and 3 blocks. Royce O'Neal in the start, he got 11 points on 4 of 9 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, finished up with a -5, pulled down 4 boards, 1 offensive, had an assist, and 2 steals. Excuse me. Joe Ingles got bottled up last night. He finished with 2 points on 1 of 7 shooting, 0 of 3 from three-point land, finished up with a +4, pulled down 2 boards, and dished out 6 assists. Ricky Rubio, back in his first game action, finished up with 12 on 3 of 6 shooting. He went 1 of 3 from three-point land, finished up with a +1, had 2 rebounds, 1 offensive, had 2 assists and 4 turnovers, so you could definitely tell he was a little bit rusty, but he also did have a steal. Rudy Gobert finished up with 10 points on 4 of 10. He didn't take any threes, finished up with a -5, pulled down 13 boards, 5 of them offensive, had 3 assists, 4 turnovers, and 4 blocks. So he was a terror on the boards. He grabbed 1 from Evan, and Evan boxed him out and everything, and it was just nasty. Kyle Korver finishes up with 6 on 3 of 8 shooting. He went 0 of 5 from three-point land, finished up with a -8, had 4 rebounds, and he also had a turnover. And then George Niang was the last one to get in for the Jazz. He ended up not doing anything. He took 2 shots, missed them both, 1 from 3, finished up with a -4. As I was saying before, for this win, defense was the name of the game. And Nurkic definitely was a huge reason why that happened, especially in the third quarter where he had 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. So he was just everywhere, and Dame was wheeling and dealing to him. So and that was a nasty little 2-man game. They had Gobert just wondering if Dame was going to be the one to shoot the ball or if it was going to be Nurk rolling off the pick and roll. It was just, the Jazz just were confused on what the Blazers were doing, and that was huge with the ball movement. Ball movement was excellent. Once again, they had 30 assists on 45 made baskets, and that's how you got to win, man. Whenever you move the ball, the defense is going to react, and more times than not, you're going to have open shots. And Blazers were hitting their open shots today. Most of them weren't from 3, which was good to see, and we were hitting them. Like I said before, Jake Layman and Evan Turner were huge off the bench, especially Layman. It was just backdoor cutting. He hit 2 big threes. Both of them, I think, were on Donovan Mitchell, because Mitchell was having a good game at the time in the third quarter. And I just like what I see from Layman. Like I said before, and many times, Jake Layman is just the type of dude, he's going to do something right more often than not. So, even with Mo Harkless back, I just like what Layman's doing. Layman's been doing so well that there was a rotation with Dame, CJ, Turner, Layman, and Nurkic as the 5 on the floor. And it worked wonders, and I hope to see that lineup a little bit more, especially if you got the person, like if playing a team like the Jazz, they don't really have a lot of big men, so you got guys like Crowder playing the 4 sometimes, so you just match them, and Layman pretty much matched what Crowder's production was tonight. So shouts out to Jake Layman. For the Jazz, Donovan Mitchell showed not much else. And he shot 42% from the field, which was better than the overall stats, but as a team, they just couldn't shoot. They couldn't shoot at all tonight. And then Jay Crowder, I don't know what's the little beef that him and Nurk have, but he needs to stop. He needs to let that go, because Nurk did him dirty tonight. Like, after they had their little altercation in the first quarter, where Nurk got called for a tech, and then Jay got called for a tech, Nurk just went off, and it was beautiful to see. And when Nurk's playing like this, it's gonna be tough for anyone to beat. Nurk was so dominant tonight that the Jazz defense left CJ McCollum wide open from 3. And you just can't do that. Not against, I know CJ hasn't been shooting the 3 ball well this year, but he went 2 of 4 tonight. And that's just something that you can't do. And another thing that I like to see, the Blazers only shoot 18 threes tonight. So that means they were more aggressive. They were going to the basket more often. They were shooting more mid-range shots, which both Dame and CJ have nasty mid-range games, so that would be nice for them to do more often than not, than settle for threes a lot of times. But we've been getting these wins, so I'm not really too concerned about shot selection and whatnot, because for the most part, everybody was pretty efficient, even though McCollum wasn't hitting. The shots that he was taking were shots that he does make a lot, so I'm not really mad about what's happening right now. Got a huge game tomorrow against OKC at OKC, so definitely looking forward to that win, hopefully getting some get back on that one, especially just for the Northwest Division, man. Like I said, it is the best division in the NBA right now, and this was a huge win for the Blazers. Utah's been surging lately, which they did just like last year, and I don't see them, just because they lost this game, I don't see them having issues with other teams. We see these guys 4 times a year, so we just know kind of their sets and whatnot, and it showed a lot tonight. We made a lot of good reads on defense. We were in the right positions more often than not. We didn't turn the ball over. Just all around solid effort. Also, shouts out to the entire LDDC. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. This is your boy P Money, and I'm off this.